So far, Dignitas banned out Rumble, strong team fighting in the mid game, and then Janna for the disengage. Dignitas really like to have Kiwi Kid on that hard engage support. So banning out Janna is really strong for them. Kiwi Kid not showing as strong results on those defensive supports. So even though Team Dignitas our first pick, no surprise they banned her out.
I was just going to say, and I was talking to Stats last night, they said, you know, Kassadin's been banned quite a bit. Not seeing it too much. But what's your stance on that right now?
Kassadin's my go-to when I have to solo lane in solo queue.
Okay.
But they gave up Gnar for it, as well as comboed with the Jarvan. So you always have to wonder about what you're passing over. Kassadin now, especially when you're picking him early, it's fairly easy to pick something like Zed or Jace into it. You can still move Kassadin around, either to top or mid lane, but Shifter's really been the guy for that team that has shown his true love of the champion. So it's probably going to be swapped down to him.
Well, it's safety for the combination they're looking at of the engage. We saw TSM play against that Gnar yesterday, and they kind of just got to the point where they said, look, the Gnar bar is up there, let's walk away and disengage until he's down, and they took the fights they wanted. So if you can't get yourself in the right position like we saw our big play of the day, just teleporting right in Gnar size, it's almost hard to get these fights engaged on a team that can keep jumping away. And so far with Kassadin, and now possibly the rush of Sivir and Crumbs getting Rengar, they are definitely going to be hard to catch.
Very, very clear so far from both teams. Dignitas, they're looking for those picks. Extra move speed for both Rengar and Kassadin, chase people down. If they ever catch TIP in an unorganized situation, and they can easily chase down multiple kills. So really, Dig are looking to sort of prey on this TIP team that haven't had much chance to practice together, and they're hoping to pick them apart and then chase down the stragglers. TIP, though, they're running a very, very solid team fight composition right now. They're looking really scary. All they have to do is group up.
Talking about those death balls.
Kiwi Kid.
Right to the crowd, the Donger as well. A little bit of love.
Thing is, Annie is still up, and if they're looking to catch people and kill people quickly,
Annie didn't get banned,
Annie is still a pretty high priority for Kiwi Kid. Thing is, Thresh plus Corki is difficult to run into. Sivir, though, with the spell shield, should have an easy time, no matter what support she gets. And there it is.
I was going to say, as long as Flash is a spell and Annie's up, I think Kiwi Kid's going to take it. So we'll see one more getting locked in. Is he actually going to take the LeBlanc? See why not. Shifter actually has that quite well learned in the solo queue ways.
Will be that top Kassadin this time around. They go with the double AP Assassins.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have a lot of potential now to just blow one person up. Possibly a Cassiopeia to go against that top Kassadin if it is to be. We've seen a lot of fantastic Cassiopeia play from other regions, and it might be starting here in NA too.
Cassiopeia is a strong top laner. However, it's fairly dangerous to run her against Kassadin, Rengar, LeBlanc, Flash Annie. The one problem with Cassiopeia is that she has low mobility until she poisons someone, so she's an easy target to get jumped on very quickly. And I don't think that TIP would like to run that one.
I like all these picks that he's gone through so far. Less so this one.
I like this one a lot, actually, because Team Dignitas, they're looking to pick someone off and blow them up quickly.
It will help in
So Lulu,
I'm thinking I want to do damage. That's
Lulu, you don't need Xiao Xiao to be the solo playmaker.
You have a lot of
all they have to do now, protect the one person that did go after first. If that person survives, all you have to do, buy a little bit of time for Gnar plus Jarvan to come in. If they land that stun on these squishy assassins, then Dig will be toast.
We saw how devastating the polymorphs were on Lysandras yesterday. As soon as she would come in, now it's going to be on a LeBlanc or a Kassadin if they try to come in. So it might be hard for them to get the picks they want if they're going to be stuck there for a little more time as a cupcake. We do see the teams, however, now the coaches are still discussing what happens. So this point is probably like, this is what I want you guys to do early game, point of time.
So basically it's Team Impulse, play a bit safer, make sure that everyone keeps up enough wards to try and keep track of the movements of Team Dignitas. And for Dig, it's exactly the same thing. They're trying to pick somebody off. They want to control vision for exactly the same reason. We saw yesterday, Winter Fox, the team with the most decisive win, they also had Sivir and a Rengar. and they would actually even have the AD carry come help Rengar gank early on for the mid lane. So maybe Dignitas will go with that.
The Boy Scouts of the NALCS so far, camping mid. They have their camping strats down. So as we get into this game, as Jat noted yesterday, kind of through Crumbs' play, he does like to get that pink ward down. It's something we'll have to watch if he can utilize that. Allows him to, as you said, get to those counter ganks. While the teams load onto the Rift, however, send us your predictions for this match by tweeting hashtag DIGWin or hashtag TIPWin to @LOL Esports, and we'll be tallying your votes throughout the broadcast. The crowd is ready. I'm sure you at home are ready on all forms of streaming platform. And we're about to get onto the Rift. Kobe, Dignitas versus TIP as we start off this game. And let's see what they decide to do. We did get some lane swaps yesterday, and it did affect some of the top laners that are not used to it on the LCS level of play.
Let's see this time around, because Kassadin is not one of the best 4 lane swaps. And Dignitas, their squad that they're running right now, this could easily snowball very quickly and look great, and they can chain a lot of kills, or it could crash and burn. If they get behind with this many squishy assassins, then it will be brutal. Rush, though, I have to say, I think this time around, TIP would benefit from Rush playing a little bit more conservatively and placing a bit more value on his own life. Rather than risking it so often, because if he gives up a first blood once again in mid lane, then that could be exactly the money that Dignitas need to run away with it.
Well, he was kind of playing his own way yesterday. You think it was also a testing the waters to see what he could get away with and see what people in the LCS would punish him?
Well, exactly. Yeah, like I said, you know, obviously solo queue jungling and competitive jungling are completely different animals.
Got to tone it down. Just tone it down just a little bit. Xiao, usually the quiet one. Very vocal today.
Percent of what I do.
He's cracking himself up. Shifter waiting patiently. All right, so it looks like it will be standard lanes, standard starts for both junglers.
Yeah, it's so great.
Rex actually performed extremely well, like many other subs did yesterday, I have to say. So I expect him to have an easy time up there versus Kassadin solo right now.
Yep.
I do not expect Crumbs to pull an early Rengar gank at all. He's definitely the type of guy that's just going to try and ward up for his lanes and then farm until he gets to 6.
So not even anything pre-6. I was actually going to ask that.
The thing is, Rush is definitely the type of guy who will pull stuff pre-6. Here he comes, level 2 gank, Jarvan coming in after only Gromp.
Boom, you could say they rushed this gank. Oh, the flash on Kiwi Kid. That actually helps so much. For the next 5 minutes, they don't have that powerful stun that they can just rush into a fight with, and they return.
The thing is, Rush showed himself bottom, so that gives Crumbs a whole bunch of information. He can have his run of the map. However, he's just hard farming. So I guess, yeah, like we said, he's going to try and get to that level 6. Oh, he did the greedy route, but he had to use 2 pots for it. So Rengar, you can actually clear that side of the jungle. Oh, he didn't get a pull, so that's why. But he had to use both his pots. He's just trying to get his Trailblazers as quickly as possible for the extra income, and then clear really fast to get to level 6. Rush, though, has not changed his ways. Early action coming from him after just the Gromp. Trades his flash with Annie. It's going to reduce the effectiveness of any further aggression from Rush. So maybe now, without his flash, he will try and put more emphasis on controlling the crabs. He's returned to the same side of the map, though, and that makes me think he wants to punish this Annie who does not have flash.
They are definitely summoners up, Kobe. Looking at that lane, 2 flashes to just the flash of CoreJJ, and now so Kiwi Kids without any other summoners to help him get out of this one. Crumbs, however, on the bottom side, so he may be able to hover there after Krugs, getting his own red buff here, as he said, making his way back with the Trailblazer. Oh,
well, he's trying to get a ward over there.
There it is. He
got it. So the thing is, since Crumbs did that hard farming route, if ever he is able to get in position and counter gank Rush will get destroyed. Crumbs will annihilate him.
So why is that?
Because he did the hard farming route. He's far ahead.
More powerful.
Far ahead in experience.
Right. Well, if he can find that brush around the pink ward and 1 ward towards his bottom side, it would be pretty tricky. He would definitely get himself a kill. Rush very low on his Gromp right now, so he's going to be going back. CoreJJ and Kiwi Kid safe for now as he hovers up with that Pyromania stun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very surprising tactic. It definitely does work a lot more in solo queue when you go for those level 2 ganks on Jarvan. Yeah. You can see what happened, though. Because of it, he was not able to buy his upgrade for the machete on his first back. His gold income is greatly diminished. His clear ability was greatly diminished. And he could have been punished right there. There's a big window for Crumbs. But Crumbs doesn't get anything done, and Rush was able to recover in his side of the jungle. Goes for the early Stalker's Blade, so he'll probably return to his ganking ways.
We do have that ping back onto top side. Not back on, just towards top. I don't know if that was Rux's or that was Rush saying he was coming up. But it does look like Rux is about to gnar out, so he may not actually come up here as that's going to wear off as he gets his own red. So, just wait for their hanging out his red. Did he not get it yet? Is he actually that slow in his jungle? Wow.
So what happened? Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
I was just kind of realizing it right as he gets up here.
His blue side, because he didn't have enough money to upgrade his jungle item.
There we go. That's the Gnar going down, focusing on that bar and making sure they get there at what would be the safest point to attack. Crumbs is now going to show himself, which doesn't really help Rush, but allows him to stay safe and possibly get a counter here as Crumbs is going to walk blindly towards this Tribe Rush.
Rush is headed over, and he did have the bush advantage, but only gets the flash out. Good flash by Crumbs, though. That was definitely necessary. If Jarvan lands the EQ and gets the slowdown, it'll be rough for him to get away. Basically, though, Crumbs only going up there to help shove so Kassadin can get a base without having to lose position in top lane.
So neither team able to get too many deep wards in or invade the jungles. They're kind of biding their own time getting to that level 6 as we saw before, especially Rush now that he is behind. A level 5 on Crumbs, but it looks like he does want to try to hit mid, and everybody is alerted to this. Pings from both teams.
They're just copying Winterfox's strategy.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no flash on that Annie, so there's definitely no danger. And TIP, that pink ward definitely paid off. Now they find it. But this is exactly what Winterfox did. They had the Sivir come up with the support and gank for the mid lane at the same time as Rengar. This time, though, Crumbs was not level 6. He had 3 camps up, and as a level 5 Rengar waiting around mid, I think it was just because they had the perfect timing for bot lane to roam. But Dignitas, those tricks, everybody saw that yesterday, not just you guys.
Right. Yeah, they were really able to shut down the Azir, take that game into their own hands. We've been seeing it a lot more, so teams looking at each other's textbooks here, taking a few pages out. Not making it work that time, but they did blow Xiao Xiao's flash, so they can come back to that if they want. He is now level 6, so Wild Growth still there to keep him safe in lane. It's 55 to 50, so he doesn't have as much as a lead as he usually does. Shifter's actually been doing a great job, even forced up to the turret in that lane.
Did they replace that pink ward in the pixel bush, or did they just Dignitas never even clear it?
I'm going to say replaced.
I'm going to say replaced as well, because he was standing right on it.
Majority rules.
But it was definitely a good ward, and they need that one there for repeat ganks.
So push up in the bottom lane, 65 to 46. Apollo actually is not something we've really looked at here. That initial hit on this lane from Rush has affected them somewhat here. That CS is now... Oh, I thought he was going to get all those, but he did not. This is going to allow Crumbs to come up. It's not going to push up far enough, so he may actually go for the ult, and the hit here could be a level 6 soon for Kiwi.
The thing is, TIP saw Rengar hit level 6. They should have their Thresh back.
No.
Playing very, very far up.
I was going to say, that was a little janky as they both went in at different times. Wasn't expecting much out of it. Just a flash from Adrian, so a little messy there as they try to go in for the gank, predicted.
Yeah, it was one of the things. Crumbs, he did get his level 6 pretty early because he soaked minions in mid lane. But whenever you actually hit your level 6 in that mid lane soaking minions, the enemy team should be very well aware of it. And in a Thresh lane, all that you have to do is play with your Thresh behind your AD carry, and it's much easier. All you have to do is click the lantern immediately. With an Annie, though, it's the right idea for Dignitas. They can lock you up. Chain that CC with the Bola as well as the stun. Sometimes they can take out an AD carry from 100% to 0.
And Dig has been working on all of these options. As soon as Kiwi Kid got that back, they tried to make it work, but they're not really going in the way they want. Everything's kind of going in Tip's favor here. The gold lead is just in their favor by a little bit. Now First Dragon will be theirs. 9 minutes into the game, Team Impulse has pretty good control of this map right now.
Yeah, and it's going the way that they want it to go. You know, fairly calm in the early game here. Rengar did not get his first ultimate gank off, only burned a flash for it. It's exactly what TIP want. Get to that point in the game where they can group up as 5 and use that Gnar ultimate to win them the team fight.
It is really nice to be able to stop that first gank so Rengar just doesn't return to lanes repeatedly, as we saw yesterday. Keep ganking over and over. We'll see if Dig decides to do some more roaming here. The bottom lane, they're trying to push up. It's still evened out, but they do have Adrian and Apollo backing so they can get themselves some mana. Pretty calm game, as you said. First Dragon to Team Impulse. Shifter trying to put the first bit of aggression onto Xiaoxiao, but there's going to be pretty much no kill potential here in the mid lane. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep their win streak up here. The beginning of the season is always theirs, so if they have the confidence to keep it going, maybe we'll get another biggest win streak of the LCS. They have to beat C9 now.
I also do like how Rush has stopped his ganks after the first one where he got behind Rengar a bit and he had to burn his flash. He didn't overextend again. He didn't mindlessly keep on going for them.
That's true.
He went back to farm up the jungle, try and catch back up, help out more with the defensive wards. And now he's back on pace, got his warrior enchant, and he has the burst that he needs.
There was definitely a lot of nerves and excitement coming in yesterday. We even saw tweets from CoreJJ saying, you know, I was so nervous and excited, but I am happy that we did get a win out of it. But sure, these guys have to think about the mistakes that they made, and it weighs hard on them. Their first game, they're on the stage. This first time people are cheering, and we've heard a lot of players say how much that impacts the game. Possibly first blood. It's been 11 minutes. Oh, Tibbers! Adrian found Tibbers, and they are going to be getting first blood in the bottom lane. KiwiKid picks that up with CoreJJ.
So the gank from Crumbs eventually allows bottom lane to get that kill. Thresh no flash, and Tibbers is able to burn him down slowly. I believe they were using their pink ward as bait in that tri-bush. We just didn't get it quite on camera. And Annie is the AD carry that will punish, or is the support that will punish you when comboed with Sivir. Really easy to hit that boomerang. Got both of them in it, and KiwiKid plus CoreJJ, as you were just speaking of him, have a great opening, getting that first blood.
It always feels better. Talked about it a little bit yesterday when Bjergsen got his first blood. It just kind of puts you on that edge where you feel right to make plays, and you'll still go in. I'm sure we'll see KiwiKid going for more of those plays. If you can't get it out of a flash, he'll bait you with a ward. He's playing very dangerous here, but he has Core on his back. So we're going to take the time to get this one cleared out. What? KiwiKid is playing with fire here, literally. Xiaoxiao, what a bait in from Dignitas here. Impulse walks right into the trap. That could be a finished off rush. Nice play back by Adrian, and Apollo low on mana. He's going to have to back out of this as well. Rux trying to throw the house down, and Gamsus have to force a rift over the wall. Very good pull in there from Dignitas. They got the picks they wanted it. Impulse kind of walked right into it over and over.
Yeah, I would have been a little bit more afraid than TIP were right there. Versus a Rengar, when Annie's got her stun charged, Rush just charges right at her. This guy does not back down from anything. It does cost Xiaoxiao his life because he was there trying to back up Rush, but 1-for-1 trade and not too detrimental for TIP.
It's one of those instances where you got to say to yourself, this Annie doesn't look like she gives a care in the world that she's in my jungle. There's probably somebody else next to her.
Rengar ultimate down, though. That does buy them a pretty big window. This level 1 on Rengar ult buys you a much bigger window. Crumbs is waiting for something to go down here on the backside of this red, though. And he's fully charged Ferocity.
Pretty much everything they want when they want it. Ethereal Chain missing on that one, though. Rush with the fancy feet very nicely. Oh, but it's KiwiKid. Don't forget that he's always there once again with the Tibbers.
Yeah, going right past once again through the mid lane. Not the safest route.
Walking through.
But this is the reason that why we said you have to be worried about this Dig team snowballing. They have so many different sources of damage and CC available to them, because not only is their support sort of a mage assassin, but their jungler is also an assassin. Both their solo laners are. They have plenty of damage if you give them the opportunity.
Oh my gosh. And this is the cohesive unit we talked about, right? They come at you from every angle. Crumbs was already in the jungle. They're now initiating another fight. Gamsu's here from top lane now. They are always where they need to be as a team right now. This could obviously change, but they're hitting it spot on for the time being.
Dig doing a good job trying to control around mid lane.
They're going to lose top here.
So as the top turrets start falling down, we're going to see TIP naturally grouping together more just because there are less lanes for them to farm. So top going down and mid under pressure, this is the time where the team composition here for TIP is going to come together. Yes, Dig had success so far picking people off, but TIP are going to be grouped so much more now with 2 outer turrets down. This is really Rux and Rush's time to shine.
Time in the game really helping to cause the swing on that one, as they now can group out of the laning phase. 18 seconds on to Dragon. Top laners, actually teleport is equally down on both sides. Let's see what happens here. Pretty far out. Tibbers is going to be up probably for the fight, and Core JJ is already in the bot lane. You see Impulse getting their blue, readying for the Dragon. This would be their second. Definitely be great for Dignitas to be able to pick up #1 here.
Yep. Dignitas so far, after all of the picks that they've gotten, they have not been able to push any objectives because they've used all of their resources getting those picks in the first place. TIP, though, as long as they set a vision around this Dragon, should be able to force here because there's no teleport for Kassadin. If Crumbs goes for the steal, then he's gonna die for it. So not gonna take that chance, and TIP get #2.
Not terrible. We've seen and heard a few Dragons can go to the wayside.
Well, this is the thing. The team with the team fighting team comp is the one that you really... Oh, hook!
Full ferocity. He does have his ult back up. Is he going to use it to get out of this one? They absolutely pile everything on. Rux is here. He just goes back to Mini Gnar and adorably kills Crumbs.
Yeah, so TIP grouped up. That is a very scary thing. Not only do they get Dragon, but the last of the outer turrets goes down. They should be able to control the entire map. And if the team with the team fighting team comp is the one that gets control this early in the game, and they're the ones with the Dragon stacks, then it's really, really hard for the team that's oriented around picking people off to come back. Because TIP can continually force those fights at the Dragon, since they're encroaching on that ultimatum of 5 Dragons, we're going to win the game. It really puts Dig in a hard choice because they can't continue to give them up so often, but they also have a really hard time team fighting these guys.
Dignitas fans still behind him on this one, even with the latest push of Team Impulse in their 3 kills. 26 to 23,000, 24,000, just about as well. And we've seen a little bit of it. We've seen them play off the ball of an objective, but big objective fights where Dignitas would kind of fail their lead or something. We haven't seen this new Dignitas team approach those objectives in a late game, so it'll be interesting to see how they take that as well. So far, giving up the Dragons, but we've seen the team still come back from a situation.
Uh-oh.
Crumbs, wrong spot, wrong time. Rush, little tiny flag and drag there. Will they get the right spot? Can he get the rocket? Nope. It's going to be a dodge out to the right. The poke. Cannot get it down. The flash still is Gamsu is acting as a human shield, taking a bullet for his friend.
Yeah, still get the flash out of Crumbs though, and that's going to be very detrimental for Dig because they are going to rely on Crumbs to take initiative and find the pick. They need his ultimate. They need that infrared vision to find somebody who's out of position and then try and capitalize on it so they can... Uh-oh!
That could be big. The catches... Once they're at the turret, now they're coming greatly from Adrian. These hooks are hitting very nicely, being at the right spots to flay or find Crumbs. He cannot get himself into a flank position. And this could be hard for them to get the picks they want if they can't get around Impulse here.
Yeah, well, we will look for Impulse to increase their ward coverage. Ooh. Stun still lands.
Oh, slow. Ever so slightly, they are able to squeak out of that one.
That is a mid-game Trinity Force Corki, able to defend his mid laner right there. So Apollo, once again, showing up big. By the way, he had a strong performance yesterday. So, you know, change of names, change of teams. Definitely good new look here for the artist formerly known as WizFusion.
I think it's a good change. I mean, your name's Apollo Price. That doesn't suck.
Yeah, it's his actual name. Why would you have a...
There you go. All right. Slowly putting themselves back in a position. Impulse tries to make their way to the mid lane. At least 2 here. It's going to be Adrian keeping safe Xiao Wei Xiao. They have great wards across the map right now, all the way pushed up past the blue buff. They haven't warded anything towards the red side because it's not necessary.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to. Get their vision down so they don't get caught out. It's such a scary thing, playing against Rengar plus Sivir when all this extra damage that they have, including the Annie, who does have flash up, by the way. Anybody on any side of the map could be the target. If that squad comes running at you, then it's very difficult to escape. So you need a really early warning system.
Yeah.
Bottom side, though, looks to be the target. Dignitas coming out of their own jungle might be able to pull this one off. Full ferocity stacked up off the red. They really want to make this move.
Yep. And we see Rux coming on your stream. Mega Nard out. Maw of Malmortius. And a Warmogs. Noticing the double AP comp that he's going up against. Figured that would be a better buy.
Warmogs is actually gaining a lot of popularity, especially from junglers now, because junglers often sit on one defensive item for a really long time, and Warmogs defense against, well, here they come.
Oh, that's going to be the ultimate one more time for Kiwi Kid. How far can this fight go, though? Crumbs goes down. The kite back is great from Impulse on this one. Kiwi Kid can't get out now, and that Cataclysm absolutely zoning and blocking the team in. Beautifully done Impulse with a near perfect, actually a perfect fight there. They didn't get the ace.
They
get out a little scratch.
They make it look really easy there. You can see the reasoning behind that Lulu pick right here. Jumping onto Apollo, Crumbs had no chance to take him down. There wasn't much focus from Dig. Not all the damage sources could take down one person. They just got completely annihilated there. Easy CC for TIP to land, and that's the inhibitor going down very quickly.
What a night and day difference instantly from how this game was going. Dignitas was all over the map, invading the side of Impulse for 10 minutes to 12 minutes, and then Impulse said, let's group. Let's add our power together and crush these turrets, and it has worked perfectly.
Let's take a look here. So, 4 members of Dig here. Sivir wasn't even there. I feel like they pulled the trigger just a bit early. They didn't have the Sivir speed boost, so Crumbs was pretty much the only person who could get back to Apollo, and Xiao had a very easy time defending Apollo, peeling for him, ulting him, so he was never in any real threat, and it just looks so easy for them to defend right there.
Looking at that top turret, we see Gamsu have to walk away. That's another thing you got to look at. Unless these guys can approach a turret pretty much with Impulse off the map, it's going to take a while for him to take it down.
That's the thing. As Crumbs, you can see his decision making there. Their turret was about to go down, so you have the feeling, oh, I need to engage this before
That's
our
like
turret
always
goes
the last
down.
minute when you go,
you want to save your turret, but your teammates are not in position, then you just can't do it. Yes, in an ideal world, you want to be able to go right now, but if your teammates aren't in position, then you have to abort.
It's unfortunate. That's a hard call, man.
It is. It goes against your intuition.
It's a battle with
like,
yourself.
That's what draws people to say, oh, why aren't you here?
Nope.
But it doesn't matter why they aren't there. It matters that they aren't. All right, so that's another dragon, by the way. That is the speed boost. Oh, that is going to be huge.
So from what we saw from Dig yesterday, and firstly, what we saw from Impulse yesterday, this is very impressive for Team Impulse.
Yeah. They've got their one game of practice in. They got their game
calibration
yesterday.
game done.
They're able to figure it out. Everybody's on the same page this time around. A little bit of early game aggression, but then very solid play. They knew that they had the squad that just had to group up. Teleport coming in.
And he's almost Nard, and he is Nard out. That's a perfect time to come in. And that's Crumbs against the wall. Just a few more shots. He almost can't move out of this one. He was trying to get out the gate, but Rux said, nope, you're coming back in. They're going to be on to Shifter now. He's trying to just at least distort out if he's not waiting on the cooldowns. And Rux was already able to make him do that himself. They are going to be able to take out inhibitors. Kobe. Team Impulse impressing here in game 1, day 2.
And they won on the back of team play. So there you go.
That's so true.
This is a very good sign for TIP fans already this early in the season, able to pull it together.
Righting the wrongs and fixing what's broken very fast. Way to patch up the problems. Team Impulse coming up with a win here on day 2 of the North American Spring Split.
And that was a danger for Dig that we warned against with that team comp. So did not quite work out for them. Not able to snowball the early pickoffs.
So I think with the assassination pick comp that they had in Champion Select, I should say both teams, they got great picks, but to the Gnar, Jarvan, 1-2, first rotation going in for Impulse, that was, I think, pretty much sealed the deal.
Yeah.
That created so many opportunities throughout the game.
Yeah, especially if you run a team all based on damage and CC, then timing is of the utmost importance.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to have split seconds in between your initiations, or any amount of time between the CC stacking, or you have no tank to soak up any damage and your team just sort of crumbles.
So pretty much different champions across the board as we look down. Rush did get Jarvan again, Adrian on Thresh. Apollo played Sivir yesterday, so these guys did have to mix it up to come in for the win today. They didn't try to fall back onto Comfort. It's good to see.